heavy hero potentially.
Will they? Okay,
There it
yeah.
is, yeah.
They will commit to the gold lane. So opening up the Faramis, are they going to pick up the Faramis themselves in that second phase? Perhaps. But Blacklist, they still banned the Selena out. So this is very, very interesting. 3 straight games, 3 Selena bans in that second phase. Last ban here, what will they go for here? This time around makes sense though, because you have the Farsa, which is quite vulnerable if there is a Selena. But will they commit to another potentially roam ban?
Yeah, that's the question here. I'm not really sure who they're trying to cover for up until this point. If they do still want to go ahead and cover up for the Farsa, they could still go for the... Okay, they can't. Well, technically they can, because Kabuki is known to utilize the Yuzong in the gold lane, but instead they go for the Melissa takeaway. So that leaves only a few options for that gold lane. Carry,
Yeah, carry.
Brody, we have Beatrix that's still left open for perhaps Blacklist to pick up again.
I wouldn't actually mind Blacklist picking up the Moskov
Again.
once more. The Brody, yes, there's a lot of dive coming in, especially from the Lance, but I feel like they're going to need that crazy amount of attack speed. So they could pair this with a Moskov Faramis, because I don't see High considering picking up a Faramis in this scenario, considering that he's also up against the Lapu Lapu and the Farsa with Lightning Truncheons. But no, Blacklist says we're gonna pick the Kaja, and Blacklist will actually go Beatrix instead.
I think it's a safer pick. I think it's more versatile in lane as well, coming against the carry. Kaja really good for that single lockdown engage on the Lancelot as well as the carry. So it looks like they have the answers to probably all the aggression coming in from Aura. And I'm curious to see what... Okay! We're gonna see a comfort pick here for High. He's actually used this once in the jungle as well. So he knows the hero out and in. Kufra, the choice.
Well, head-to-head, Kufra Kaja wins that one.
Yeah.
But overall, if you need CC, especially our fire composition-wise, they need CC. Yeah, Kufra missed the perfect pick. I had to go with Aura Fire for Game 3.
What about you, Reptar?
Oh, you know I'm leaning towards Blacklist International, but just like game number 2, this I'm gonna say a hero that I'm scared of. I'm scared of the Kufra.
Okay, and since this is the last game of the series, I'm gonna go for Aura Fire, hashtag Indo Pride, and with that, let's throw it to our casters. Take it away.
All right. Calling it down the middle here. Gideon and Leo back at the desk. This is as comfortable as it gets for both Aura Fire and Blacks International, because as Eterna mentioned, and we were having a little conversation here on desk as well, even Blacklist has a majority of their comfort picks all throughout.
And I love it a lot, especially when it comes down to the ban list. They are, again, Bonchan has done a great job at saying, you know what, Hi, we're going to make you play standard here. At least something that we can expect.
Yep, and again, this is a hero that he not only is used to playing as a roamer, but even when he was a jungler, even when High went deep during MPL ID Season 10, if I'm not mistaken, his Kufra was already a thing of legend. But looking at Blacks International, it's been a while since I've last seen Hades in action, right? In MPLPH.
Yes.
But him aside, everyone else is playing here that they're very comfortable with. Again, the Kaja, not very different from Renege's Cho. You still have that single ult that just isolates one. You have the Filipino sniper on the Filipino sniper. You have Edward on the Lapu Lapu, and of course, Haji on the Farsa. This is how they won that World Championship.
And the scary part is that both sides have some really good responses to when the initiative has been stolen away from them. And that's the scary part, right? That counter engage is always going to be harder.
Not to mention the Vancelot from Game 1, our MVP. Let's go into the game here. A purple start for both junglers.
All right, okay, looks like it's pretty standard from both sides at the very least. We'll see whether Van is actually able to get ahead like he did last time, but then again, it's going to be Hades. He's going to be playing on this Fredrin. It's hard to start falling behind. He's always going to be relevant.
Yep, I know that a lot of y'all watching, agents or a fam alike, just fans of MLBB esports, watching the SPS, will say that, hey, Hades' debut under the Blacklist banner might not be the best, but with a hero like Fredrin, at least he can be comfortable.
Can we talk about Haji for just a second? He's been playing such good standard games. Wait, hold on. They're already finding the initial engagement onto Renegades' side. He's trying to get out of the light wheel and manages to walk away. So keep in mind, you don't want to sit in that light wheel for too long.
Back to Haji though, but wait, up top!
Yep, it's going to be Van. He's looking for that first blood, finds it on towards Edward's side, and that's why it's a tough matchup. Lapu Lapu does not get good until level 4 in blue. He's just going to bully him out of here.
Now let's talk about Haji.
Yep, because he has been super consistent in the past 2 games, and now he's on a volatile scaling artillery mage.
Yep, and he's playing it well. Look at how well he's bullied Reza. Reza, by the way, been killing it on the Valentina 2 games in a row, despite that loss in game 2. But just the same, now he's on the Eve. So it's the Eve versus the Farsa. It's a square versus a circle. There's the engage on Palevi.
Yep, and again, Palevi, you have to use that early flicker. Make sure that he lives. He doesn't need it for the upcoming turtle fight. It'd be useful to have, but at the very least, he knows that he's going to live and hit level 4.
And the thing is, he spent the flicker because if he died, he would have missed level 4. It would have been a much harder fight. So here, if he commits to it, gets that last wave, he can get a split. Now Haji's in trouble.
Real world manipulation already coming out, but Feather Airstrike as a response. They trade 1 for 1 on either side, though. Turtle falls into the hands of Hades from Blacklist International. They walk away, even though it's 2-1. At least they got the turtle.
Gideon, was that Haji's first death this whole series?
I feel like he's died before.
He's died once in game 2.
He's died once in game 2, but will be the second death, and I'm more surprised that he died before the 6-minute mark.
Interesting, but it was the trade for the turtle, so I get it. This is a worthy sacrifice for what could be Blacklist's comeback, because again, they're looking at a reverse sweep, and Aura Fire just wants to get back on the horse here. They want to come back into a winning position, which they currently have right here. 300 gold ahead.
I see why he died. I see why that he actually looked for this trade. Look at it. Reza at level 4, Haji at level 5. They're going to get into engagement again. It's going to be Hades tanking as much as he can. Oh, great Divine Judgment coming in from Renegade. He won the counter engage, though. It looks pretty good, but Vine, he's got to decide on what he wants. As Blacklist International split apart, Kabuki is able to join the fight just in time to take out Hades. A 2-for-1 trade in favor of Aura Fire.
And Aura Fire are just burning up now. They do not want a replay of game 2, so they want to stay ahead as much as possible. And key here is Van on the Lancelot. We've already seen what that does. And Kabuki on this carry, who just, wow, built up a corrosion site. That's fast. He is not that far ahead of Oheb, but the fact that he's willing to show up in fights sooner makes all the difference. High with a jump.
Yep, they've already broken a majority of the shielding. High, he's going to die here. There's nothing that he can do, and now Oheb finally catching back up. Again, corrosive side, cost-efficient item in comparison to something like a Hunter Strike or even a BOD.
Is this as early an Ube as it gets? Oh, they broke it up. All right. I was afraid that Blacklist was just going to go straight up Ube. 3 minutes in, let's Ube now.
Yeah, Ube now. No time like the present. And Levy, he's doing a good job at keeping Agent Zero in check while the bottom side. That's where we're seeing a lot of that focus between Aura Fire and Blacklist.
Yep, Turtle spawns up in the upper quarter of the map, and oh no, not a good time to be Palevi.
I think he's fine, right? He's still got the split technically. He's trying to walk away from 3. It's not looking good now. He goes into the split. Vaughn's trying to help. Renjay's waiting for it. High could look for a response. He finds it. No, doesn't hit Haji in time. They're trying to get on top of Hades as the counter response here. It's now turned into a fight, and it's going to be High. He finds 2 Feather Airstrike to deter the rest of Aura Fires. They back away, and Edward still should be able to secure this kill on towards Vaughn's side. Gets it as the real world manipulation comes out of Reza, only finding 1. Renjay flickering forward. High trying to slow him down, gets hit by the Divine Judgment. Better him than anybody else, but Palevi already using the grab to slow them down. This is not looking good as Aura Fire finally call it quits.
100 seconds on Renegade's flicker. Took a while to find a target there. Eventually does get a pull onto High, but it was all just for the tempo, just to make sure that R5 don't push the advantage here. Turtle scored by a Blacklist this time around. 100%, and they pop Palevi here. This is a great move for Blacks International. They're buying so much space for Oheb, who has had, dare I say, the most comfortable game he's had in game 1, 2, and 3 so far. And there's a jump by High, threatening Edward.
Oh, unfortunately, High was not able to position himself in front of Edward, thankfully, because Haji was able to get the stun off in time. If not, that probably would have been a kill going over to Aura Fire. Now, down by the bottom side, Kabuki holding on his own. Renjay looking for an opportunity, and Oheb, he says no, flickers forward, sneaks in an auto attack before flickering. Great moves from Oheb.
Something he may have picked up from an old rival, if you know what I'm saying. Now, Blacks International on the board here. High with a jump.
Yep, Reza gets saved from the Divine Judgment, and now Renegade just left out to dry. Void Crystal and Void Blast with a real war manipulation as well. They still haven't caught on to him, and now Hades is slowing down high. Renegade might get away from free, tries to go for the execute, but didn't buy enough time. Ends up going down. He doesn't mind, right? Look at his emblems. He's totally fine with dying.
Yep, didn't get enough time between a last hit between the turret and an opponent for the kill reset to just turn into a free kill. But looking at the gold lead here, only really Van is the one who's getting way ahead of Blacks International. Elsewhere, it's Blacklist all the way. That's what this 1,500 approaching 2K gold lead looks like right now. 6-5. Tier 1 lost up top and down bottom. So yeah, Blacks International, this is a pretty comfortable lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we're seeing this version of Blacklist International actually obtain a lead this early into the game. But now this might be a full-on fight here. Van, he's trying to bait this out, but the rest of Aura slowly showing face in the mid lane. We see Pahlavi flickering forward to make this happen. Split has been activated. Divine Judgment as well. Real World Manipulation to look for an opportunity out to Hades as Vaughn is able to take out the backline just in time with the help of the Real World Manipulation, but notice that it's going to be Edward taking out their backline as well. That's a 3 for 2. The bravest fighter still lives on.
And just like that, Oheb, a switch inside of him. This is the best Beatrix game he's had all series. Game 1, not so good. Game 2, it was a Moskov, and now he's so comfortable. Again, you see how much he was free hitting. And the punish, Kabuki finding a window though, trading that turtle from a lost trade to a tier 1 push up top. Aura Fire not quite out just yet. Van meets up with Edward and Renegade here. Interesting, no one wants to give up mid.
Yeah, I think right now, Aura Fire just need to take a step back. Let's look at the instant replay, right? Because again, you can see that Pahlavi is trying to make sure that Renegade doesn't make this play, right? But he could have been on someone like Hades and then look to turn around and take the turtle afterwards.
Yep, and what that bought for Blacklist is a lack of focus on Oheb. And that's what just let all the damage on through. And now Blacklist 2K ahead. Aura Fire just finding the little gaps in Blacklist's housekeeping. See, they're having High take care of that alongside Kabuki Reza.
Never want to do this. You never want to do this because, again, when you're playing Farsa, you just have bigger base damage in comparison to a Heap. Needs multiple taps in comparison to Haji's. Just a quick 3 is more than enough.
Yep, it's basically the difference between a shotgun and a submachine gun. The RWM needs a lot to make most of it, but for the Feathered Airstrike, yeah, as you said, 3 pumps, that's it, and he has a lightning truncheon, so that's what's dealing all this damage. And look at this deadly bush. I wonder if Hades knows that there's 4 in there.
He's sniffing it out, right? He's not bothering to face check. If he did, he probably would have died. And wow, that's just a passive in 1 tick of the Feathered Airstrike onto Kabuki. Keep in mind that Haji's going to remember that.
Yep, Haji should, because looking at the max damage dealt, he's only second to Reza. So yeah, Reza has been planning himself with the RWM swiping and tapping as much, but yeah, Haji's just 100 damage away from him, second place right now.
We all saw that, right? Oheb, he wanted to go check the pixel brush. The rest of Blackloot was like, no, don't do that, don't do that. Turn around. And now High, he's going to start opening up the map. The Lord is spawning in 2 more seconds, but the housekeeping needs to be done.
Yep, and it looks like they let go. Low minion count for the bottom lane, so that is going to be an advantage. Renegade spots 1. High looking for the jump.
Yep, he gets on top of Pahlavi so far. And it's raid! No, he channeled the split too early. He needed to get out of there. The RWM is up on top of Renegade so far, but Vani's so out of position, forced to use the Phantom Execution to get back in, and now the Feather Airstrike is free to go, but it's going to be Aura Fire who secures Lord as the rest back away. Only 1 casualty so far, about to be 2. High can't seem to escape, and the bonk is going to send him back to the base. Haji, so consistent.
And they are going to convert that death ball into a push in mid. But Gideon, I think it would be an injustice for us to not say Van is a madman. You see that wreckage? You see that steal? He made the most of a losing situation by saying, you know what? We have the major objective. We lost what we lost. There's no use crying over spilled milk.
Yeah, and now he's got a 2-level lead against Hades, right? We talked about it earlier that if we see Van just get ahead, he does so much on Levy. He needs to be able to start using his flicker defensively. He can't just be channeling split in front of their face anymore.
And that's what's difficult when you're facing off against Blacklist, who has pretty good damage coverage between Haji and Renegade on magic, and then the rest on physical, and a good amount of burst and DPS as well. Palevi can't get away with what he's been trying to do here. It's just not going to work out, especially since he only has, oh lord, just a Dominance Ice.
It feels really bad. Like, Dominance Ice is a great utility item, but like in terms of raw stats, sure, it's great in lane, but when you get into the bigger picture, especially when you look at the items, like look at Oheb right now. He's 3 items. He's got the Malefic Roar. Yeah, sure. Build an Anti-Cuirass. I'm just going to cut through you regardless, but man, he's doing some good damage. Renjay looking to punish. He sees Haji. He sees Edward. Can't get out. Haji just does not miss.
Oh, quite the nomad Van was, just walking around, loitering inside Blacks International's jungle. He wasn't too deep. I'm not so sure what he was thinking to do there.
Hey, just gallivanting, you know? Gotta be careful when you're gallivanting around. Charging it up. Oheb, still great reaction time. Feathered Airstrike is already out, but just notice that Pavlevi just cannot maintain that sort of damage.
Here we see Grand Theft Purple. Can they get it? Yes, he does. No,
Haji's got it.
Better, yes. Given over to Haji.
That's great. That is great. Hades looking for an opportunity. Oh, the suppress. Oh, nobody pulls it out of the Menace range. Doesn't matter, though. They still aren't able to get the Tyrant's range out in time for the Airstrike to deter the rest. Nicely done. Good recovery from Blacklist International.
Yep, back-to-back wins for Blacks International here, approaching a 3K gold lead at 12 minutes. 25 seconds, and they're going to take his tier 2. And look at how deep Kabuki is. I wonder if they're going to spot him. They know, they smell it. Oh, wait.
No, he cancels it. He's trying to go for the 1v1 against Haji. He gets it in time. Flickers away, and now he gets Oheb. Oh my god, Kabuki! He finds it. Edward finally takes him out of the back line. The damage is gone. And Reza with real world manipulation to deter them. It's going to be Vaughn. That's all they have left. They've got no more damage. They've lost their marksman. And now it's just Reza slowly chipping away at Edward. Taking it.
This is difficult. It's a 2v3. What was that? Off of the back of Kabuki's 50-50. Never tell him the odds. No. Never tell him the odds. They have turned it all around. Hades is going to fall here, and it's only Renegade left. What even? The difference between Oheb and Kabuki's kit. Oheb did not have a win chant. Kabuki did. What? And in the face of a what? 3K, 4K gold lead?
And all of this because Oheb thought, you know what? I don't need the Winds of Nature. I'm so far ahead. I'm going to go for the Haas Call. I'm going to finish the Hunter Strike. And just because of that decision, he dies for it. Now, Horafire have an opportunity to really converge this. Oheb trying to look for his steal. Doesn't find it just yet. Horafire walk away with a Lord in hand.
That's going to be a Luminous Lord marching on for the side of Horafire. And just the same, their minions were already enhanced prior to this. Blacklist haven't gotten a single Lord just yet. 14 minutes in, 16-11. Let's watch it again. Watch Kabuki. Pow! That's Haji. And then as I saw the win chant, I knew it was over.
Yeah, that was some John Wick stuff right there. Tactical, precise, no movement wasted. And by the time he was facing off Edward, he's like, okay, I'm going to die to this, but I'm going to make sure it hurts.
Already, even if he died, it's an achievement already, right? You're looking for a pickoff when you're down behind this much. He did more than just a pickoff. He got 2. And that is just what Kabuki presents. Again, this young man has played in so many different roles under the Horafire banner. He's seen almost any situation you put him in. Now high, propping up for a jump. Gonna let this Lord crash on through. Tier 2 pushed up top. Oh wow, mid lane tier 1 still stands, but I think Horafire will do well to clean up here.
Yep, they're angling Blacklist out. That's the idea, right? They're cracking open the tier 2s. They got the tier 1 in mid. Bottom side, no outer turrets as well. And Oheb learning his lesson and purchasing a Winds of Nature.
Oh, finally, but look at the damage here. Haji and Oheb, of course, core damage dealers for Blacks International. And then you have Reza and the Van. So even Kabuki at this point, despite what he's done about 2-3 minutes ago, is still just barely hitting the upper half of damage dealt in this game.
I mean, that's about target prioritization, right? If you're able to free hit, and when you're comparing it to a Beatrix is more likely to get in range than this carry. Now, this is where it gets very, very dangerous, right? We've seen how the late game goes for Blacklist International, and Aurafire, it's clear they can't close this out without another good play. There's no way High's going to go in there, right?
Nope. It's not to the range unless he expends his flicker, and I don't think everyone can jump in at the right time. I was actually pretty scared for Blacklist because they're the ones who are further off. If High just pulls the trigger, it would have led to maybe a 2-for-1, 3-for-2, still in favor of Aurafire.
Oh, they're going to do it again. They're going to do
Set
it
it
again.
up.
Again, everybody's too far. Everybody will have to flicker if we do see High try to make a play as risky as this one. And he doesn't even have like clear information to work off of.
Yeah, but good news, bad news, right? For Aurafire, they all have flickers, save for Van, so they can close the gap. Bad news, Blacks International only have 3 flickers, and Renegade wants to use his for the re-engage. Oheb wants to use his for retreat. So, yeah, interestingly enough, Aurafire, their fingers on the trigger this time around. They are in the lead. They have cordoned off Blacklist to only go in certain parts of the map. And even Edward's in trouble.
Yep, they find Edward. Nicely played by Aurafire. They knew that Blacklist International would not make the same mistake twice in game number 1 where they just didn't do their housekeeping. So they punish Edward for that. Now, after a readable play, they start moving down. But notice, 2 members now hiding in the bush on that top side, making sure they don't give away that information, and now moving in towards mid to zone Blacklist out. Can they take this 4v5? It's very unlikely. And Palevi is going to make sure that Hades is nice and stacked up. So when he splits, it's going to matter. Bandit's Rage is already coming out as Palevi is already taking too much. Feathered Airstrike as well to try and secure the kill. Able to get the immortality. And there's Hades. He finally drops and High. Oh, tries to get on top of Haji. The Purify is good. And the Winter Trenchant as well. But with no support, he's left hanging.
Blacklist International got nothing. Not even a trade. Aurafire takes everything. 2 for none. Plus a Luminous Lord sitting at 5,000 gold ahead. Bare minimum, Gideon. Bare minimum. Aurofire's taken 2 inhibitors.
All right, let's see how much damage they can apply onto Blacklist International. The siege is going to continue, but again, the high ground defense from the side of Blacklist International is good. Even Edward is willing to expand his ult just to clear waves. What sucks about it is the fact that the Lord just spawned and now the waves are starting to crash.
Yep. Again, Aurafire orchestrating this push. There goes mid-tier 3. The inhibitor falls. Bottom in jeopardy. Oheb just making quick work of it. He has to. And here's the big lord. It's going to jump on through. There's a big siege minion right between them.
Well, Hades tries to cancel it. Bennett's Rage being expanded. RWM as well to zone them out. The classic siege. Oh, they get Hades! And now this is going to get real difficult. Oheb has no ults to work with left. Nothing to clear those waves, and Haji has to decide. He quickly goes with a feathered airstrike on towards the minion wave, but they're punishing him high. Doesn't let him go any further than this as they close out the game against Blacklist International. That's it. They've done it. Aurafire, well played. GG, well played.
2-1. Taking the series right out of the clutches of a possible reverse sweep. The Aura fam rejoices. The flames and fires burn. And you can see